Hi everyone, Maryjo with Fourth Dimension Healing. Today I want to explore with you the concept of healing with the element of fire, and particularly how to work with crystals and gemstones that also resonate with the fire frequency. Now when I'm talking about fire, I'm talking about the energies of creativity, of motivation. Think about wildfire that goes across a prairie and burns and destroys apparently what we are used to seeing. At first glance, there is a lot of destruction, and yet it doesn't take long for new growth to begin to peak up. That's what fire does when we work with it. It may at times invite us into a more tumultuous healing process, and at other times there will be that new growth that arises. And so it's okay to work with fire. Fire shows up in our own lives when we think of passion, when we think of anger, when we think of having those really strong feelings. That's fire, and a lot can get done when fire is very balanced in our body. The first stone I want to talk about and show you today is Sept Arion. Now, Sept Arion is a stone that also resonates with the earth, but we're going to focus on its transformational, motivational energies that arise. This Sept Arion is created with a mix of chalcedony, calcite, and aragonite, and its layering in some ways reminds me also of the fire that goes across the prairie and takes one layer off, and yet the next layer is ready to be birthed and experience new life. So this is a stone that can be very supportive in that work. Now when I think of crystals and gemstones that align with and resonate with the fire element, I always think of carnelian. I would say carnelian is one of the cardinal fire element stones. Now the fire element really does a lot of healing support down in this second chakra in our lower abdomen. And carnelian is an example of a stone that can be very helpful as we're working on shifting that which is arising in that second chakra. So if we're experiencing some sluggishness, lack of motivation, and during these times while we are inside more and our normal day-to-day routine has been disrupted, carnelian can be a stone that we can work with. In fact, any of the fire element stones are really helpful to work with to reinitiate and re-engage ourselves in projects and activities that have maybe gone a little bit to the side. Another stone that I really enjoy working with is tiger's eye, golden tiger's eye. I like to describe tiger's eye as a stone that pulls down sun energy and pulls up earth energy and really lands right here in this third chakra, this center of power, of motivation, of integrity. And fire can really burn off a lot of sluggish energy within that energy center. If we're feeling disempowered, if we're feeling a little too bullyish, carnelian and the work with fire can help us reestablish balance in that center. So tiger's eye is really a wonderful stone for that. Now I've talked about citrine in one of my other videos, and I want to talk with you about it again because citrine is a very, very powerful fire element stone. The first type of citrine I'm going to show you is what's called common citrine or heat-treated citrine. This occurs when a piece of amethyst, which is a purple high-frequency stone, is placed in a kiln. So once it's placed in the kiln and gets superheated, the purple changes to this yellow gold, and its properties have shifted. Now this heat treating does not hurt the stone at all. However, it does change its properties and now becomes much more of that fire, motivation, creativity type of energy. So particularly, I would say, for the third chakra, where we're working with ego and integrity and power, this is a stone that can very much be supportive of that third chakra. Now, if the heat treating of the amethyst takes place while it's still in the ground, has not yet been unearthed, we get what is called natural citrine. In my experience, I invite you to check this out for yourself. There is a difference between the common citrine or heat-treated citrine and the natural citrine. There's a slight difference, although they work very much similarly. There's just a little bit difference. I would say for me, this natural citrine has a stronger, sustained energy. And in my experience, working with the common citrine, it's more direct and it's more abrupt. And so I use each as needed to support the healing that's arising for me. The final stone I want to show you as it pertains to the fire element is malachite. Now, you've probably perhaps seen malachite. It's just gorgeous swirling of green. Makes beautiful statues and shaped objects. This particular stone not only resonates with fire, but also, I would say it does resonate with fire, but it also really supports the heart chakra. So when I think of the compassion that we find in our heart, and I think of the fire that the malachite represents, and we bring that compassion down into this third chakra, it is really helpful for burning off whatever is interfering with our ability to be compassionate leaders. So you can see that we've got this compassion from a heart chakra, and yet the fire that needs to come in and burn off whatever is getting in the way of us being able to blend the two together. And so I would say for the malachite, that is definitely a gift that malachite brings us. So these are just a few examples of some of the stones that I work with that are specifically resonating with the fire element energies. I invite you to take a look at what you've got. Perhaps you're not exactly sure if you've got a stone that resonates with fire frequency or not. Go ahead and go out to my webpage, go to my online shop, go to the gemstone page and search by fire element. And all of the stones that I carry will show up in that search, and you can then begin to explore what stones you have at home and where it is that they land within the context of the elements. As always, if you have any questions, you can send me an email. You can send me a chat through my webpage. I'd be more than happy to answer any of the questions you have. And at this time, I leave you with this beautiful gift that we have from the earth, as the earth brings those fire energies together and offers those frequencies to us by working with these stones and crystals. So many blessings on your healing journey. Be well.